Historical and Modern Perspectives. Greetings, young adventurers. I am Zoran the Dragon, your wise and whimsical guide through the mystical realms of spiritual science. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the historical and modern perspectives on fear. Accompanying us on this enlightening adventure is the brilliant Dr. Robert J. Gilbert, whose wisdom will help us understand the evolution of fear and its role in our lives. Zoran the Dragon's quote, "Fear is a shadow that has danced through the ages, taking different forms and meanings. By understanding its history and modern interpretations, we can learn to face it with wisdom and courage." Zoran the Dragon. Zoran's dialogue with Dr. Robert J. Gilbert. Zoran, greetings, Dr. Gilbert. Today, our young readers are eager to learn about the historical and modern perspectives on fear. Can you share your insights on how fear has been perceived and addressed throughout history and its relevance in today's world? Dr. Gilbert. Absolutely, Zoran. Fear has always been a fundamental part of the human experience. Throughout history, different cultures and societies have developed various ways of understanding, addressing, and overcoming fear. These perspectives have evolved over time, reflecting the changing contexts and needs of each era. Zoran, that sounds fascinating. Can you guide us through some key historical perspectives on fear and how they have influenced modern understandings? Dr. Gilbert. Certainly, Zoran. Let's explore some key historical perspectives on fear and their evolution. Ancient perspectives. Zoran, how did ancient civilizations perceive and address fear? Dr. Gilbert. In ancient civilizations, fear was often linked to the unknown and the supernatural. Ancient Egyptians, for example, believed in a myriad of gods and spirits, both benevolent and malevolent, that influenced their daily lives. Rituals, prayers, and offerings were common practices to appease these spiritual beings and mitigate fear. Egyptian spirituality. Zoran, how did the ancient Egyptians address their fears through spirituality? Dr. Gilbert. The ancient Egyptians practiced rituals and offered prayers to deities such as Mat, the goddess of truth and balance, to maintain harmony and mitigate fear. They believed that living in accordance with Mat's principles would protect them from chaos and fear. Greek mythology. Zoran, how did Greek mythology influence their understanding of fear? Dr. Gilbert. Greek mythology often depicted fear through gods and mythical creatures. For example, Phobos was the personification of fear in Greek mythology, and stories involving gods and heroes often illustrated the struggle to overcome fear. These myths served as allegories for facing and conquering fear in human life. Medieval perspectives. Zoran, how did the medieval period influence the understanding of fear? Dr. Gilbert. During the medieval period, fear was deeply intertwined with religious beliefs and the concept of divine judgment. The fear of hell, eternal damnation, and divine retribution were prevalent themes in medieval spirituality. The Church played a significant role in shaping these fears and offering salvation through faith and piety. Christianity and fear. Zoran, how did Christianity influence the perception of fear in the medieval period? Dr. Gilbert. Christianity emphasized the fear of God as a motivating force for righteous living. The concept of hell and eternal punishment instilled fear in believers, urging them to follow religious teachings and seek salvation. This fear was counterbalanced by the promise of redemption and eternal life in heaven. Medieval folklore. Zoran, what role did folklore play in shaping medieval fears? Dr. Gilbert. Medieval folklore included tales of witches, demons, and other supernatural beings that instilled fear in the populace. These stories often served as cautionary tales, warning people against immoral behavior and reinforcing social norms. Modern perspectives. Zoran, how have modern perspectives on fear evolved? And what are some key approaches to addressing fear today? Dr. Gilbert. In the modern era, fear has been studied extensively through the lenses of psychology, neuroscience, and social science. Contemporary approaches to fear focus on understanding its physiological and psychological mechanisms as well as developing strategies for managing and overcoming fear. Psychological approaches. Zoran. How do modern psychological approaches address fear? Dr. Gilbert. Modern psychology explores the cognitive and emotional aspects of fear. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CB, help individuals identify and challenge irrational fears, develop coping strategies, and gradually desensitize themselves to fear-inducing stimuli. Neuroscientific insights. Zoran. What have neuroscientific studies revealed about the nature of fear? Dr. Gilbert. Neuroscientific research has identified key brain regions involved in the fear response, such as the amygdala. Understanding the neural pathways of fear has led to the development of interventions that target these mechanisms, including medication and brain stimulation techniques. Mindfulness and meditation. Zoran. How do mindfulness and meditation practices help in overcoming fear? Dr. Gilbert. Mindfulness and meditation practices cultivate present moment awareness and help individuals detach from fearful thoughts. By observing fear without judgment and practicing relaxation techniques, individuals can reduce anxiety and build resilience. Cultural and social factors. Zoran. How do cultural and social factors influence modern perspectives on fear? Dr. Gilbert. Cultural and social factors shape how fear is perceived and addressed. Media, societal norms, and collective experiences contribute to the amplification or mitigation of fear. Understanding these influences helps individuals develop a more nuanced perspective on fear and its role in their lives. Conclusion. Zoran. Dr. Gilbert, thank you for sharing these insights on the historical and modern perspectives on fear. It is clear that fear has taken many forms and meanings throughout history, and by understanding its evolution, we can better navigate and overcome it in our own lives. Dr. Gilbert, it has been a pleasure. Zoran. Remember, fear is a natural part of the human experience, but with wisdom and courage, we can face it and transform it into a source of strength.